All right. So I am back, and I guess it was timely because I did 1 through 5 in the first video, and this is going to be 5 through 10 of 10 things to consider quitting to achieve success. Who knew that this would be a two-part? Maybe I should have recorded this part tomorrow as part of my, 30 plus days going live. But nope, I'm going to keep it and, give everyone what I wanted to give this evening, which is the 10 things to consider quitting to achieve success. Because as I go through my day, I'm thinking of different content and what I want to share share on my channel and share with viewers that are familiar with my channel, who've been rocking with me, as well as viewers who are new to my channel. And I know for me, I use YouTube as a source of information. I always have a notebook and pen handy to jot down notes, and I encourage you this evening to get your pen and paper ready so that you can also take down some notes on the information that is going to be shared. Again, this is a two-part series of 10 things to consider quitting to achieve success. I apologize for part one because I got a phone call and I don't know how the phone ringing, it always interrupts StreamYard, and you probably can still see the video, but you just can't hear. So we're back here right now to continue and finish the last half of the 10 things to consider quitting to achieve success. So for number 5, I see Slasher Chick, you made it. Thank you. Listen, I don't know what that is when I'm on StreamYard and how when I get a call, and unfortunately my calls are also filtered to my iPad, it just shuts down my volume. It mutes me out. So anyway, I'm here and that's what happens. Technology, you can't live without it, or sometimes you can't live with it. But we're at number 5, and that is the need to control. And I did mention what that is, and that's trying to control every aspect of life, which can be exhausting and impractical. It's important to learn to adapt and go with the flow. And, when you do that, that can reduce your stress and lead to new opportunities. So you always want to see how you can do something different, how you can do something better, how you can collaborate with other people, getting other perspectives. You want to have diversity, equity, and inclusion in all the things that you're doing, and be more inclusive with your methods, considering all types of people, and working on projects. So many people have amazing experiences and you just don't know where they can take you. So for sure. The next is number 6 on 10 things to consider quitting to achieve success. And number 6 is perfectionism. Perfectionism. Say that 20 times in a row. So that's when you're aiming for higher standards is good. You think that's good. It is good. But perfectionism can lead to paralysis and missed deadlines. Prioritizing progress over perfection can enhance your efficiency and overall well-being. Now, for me, and when I'm working with a team, on a team, or when I have an employee, I always say I don't look for perfection, I look for best effort. I'd rather you give your best effort in trying to get something done than trying to make it perfect. When you're trying to make it perfect, again, it even says it can lead to paralysis. And a lot of times you'll end up missing deadlines because it's not complete. So look to get what needs to be on there in terms of content or the format, or and even not even the format, but really the content. The format, you can always fix that later. So definitely, perfectionism is something else to consider quitting to achieve success. hmm And Slasher Chick is saying, love that. At least you can learn from your best effort. Absolutely. You can. And that actually gives you even more to look at. And that goes back to the need to control. Because if you aren't perfect, it and you're letting go of that need to control, it opens you up. We can have a dialogue. We can troubleshoot through this. We can do a think tank session and figure it all out, and let's do this together. But you at least gave me the foundation, the base, the skeleton to work with. If you don't have anything, that's a whole nother thing, but that definitely can help. I see Low Carb Queen is in the building. Hello. Oh, Pastor Kim. Okay. That's a new channel. I'm gonna have to check it out. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you. All right. So that is number 6. Now, number 7 of 10 things to consider quitting to achieve success. Number 7 is multitasking. And I know you all are probably like, wait a minute. I'm multitasking right now. Slasher Chick just said she was on a call. So people are always multitasking. Absolutely, they are. And although it might seem efficient, multitasking can actually reduce productivity and increase errors. So focusing on one task at a time can improve the quality of your work. Time blocking and doing certain things on certain days is important. When you shift to the next, only focus on the task at hand. Be present and don't let your mind wander to things you have no control over at the moment. So many people really multitask in their mind, especially. They could be at work, working in their business or in their career, and their mind is trying to figure out what they have to do after work. Oh my goodness, I have to pick up this thing, this, that, and the other. And by doing that, it slows their progress down with what's at hand. And they have no control over what they're actually thinking about, what they have to do later on that day. So if you can stay focused, if you have multiple things to do within your business, if you have multiple things to do on your job, time block. Set aside a certain time. I had a conversation with someone on my team just the other day. And I said, what time of day are you most productive? And they were like, listen, I'm productive all day. I have energy all day. But really consider that. When do you have the most energy and what do you typically want to do when you have that energy? If you have something that's heavy with doing some research where you have to really focus and do a lot of reading and combing through different things, Excel spreadsheets and such, you might want to have the most energy to do that. If it's at a time of the day, maybe like after lunch when you're a little more sluggish because you had a good meal or whatever, that might not be a good task to tackle at that time. So you might want to do something heavy on the reading and focus heavy in the morning. If it's something like responding to calls or scheduling your meetings, I know a lot of people schedule meetings first thing in the morning, but maybe you might want to schedule some meetings later on in the afternoon. I kind of like afternoon meetings closer to the end of the day because you know that you could just kind of bounce after that and whatever you had agreed upon, you can put it on your task list for the next day versus if you have a meeting first thing in the morning and you are developing or adding to your task list, you might say, oh, I'm gonna have to try to fit this in today. Or you might just want to tackle it because it was something you just talked about, but you already had a list of things for that day to tackle. But because of that meeting, now you want to try to tackle even more. And don't do that to yourself. Don't impact yourself to that extent. Let's see. I see Cola is in the building. Hello. I love the purple hearts. So beautiful. Yes. You're a night owl. Okay. And that's good to know. When you're most productive, some people are morning people, some people are night owls. And you have to know yourself. No one else can tell you who you are and when you are most effective, but you have to know yourself. But really consider how you are multitasking. If you focus at the matter at hand when you're doing it and you really are concentrating on it, you will be so surprised. Again, and if any of you are in that sandwich generation where you're taking care of your family, your young family, and your elderly parents, um, you find that you have to multitask a lot. And that's kind of when I learned the value of being present, where, when I was with my mother and say my children were in school and I'm with her, I'm with her. When I would go to my children's events, because I had such a limited amount of time, I really wanted to be present at those moments. I would not let my mind wander to, I hope my mother's okay. I hope, nothing's, I would never let my mind wander there. I would be 100% focused. And because, we stopped our world when we cared for my mother, before that, I was like a shark in business, literally. And it was interesting because I definitely felt like I had more time with my kids prior to caring for my mother, but my kids felt like I was more present with them and for them when I was caring for my mother. And that's because prior to her getting sick and when I was heavily into business, I was into business. Like I was always, my mind was thinking about business all of the time. And so, but when I learned how to be present, it just freed me up. So no matter how busy I am, and people will be like, "Oh my goodness, like you do it so much," but I'm doing what I'm doing right now. I'm not even thinking about anything else. I'm so on to the next. I know how to drop one thing and get to the next, to the point where I don't even remember what it was until I get to it again. And when you can get to that point, trust me, it'll open up so much more for you. So that is number 7 on 10 things to consider quitting to achieve success. Let's see what number 8 is. So, number 8 is short term mindset. And that's again, is about focusing only on immediate gains. Well, and they saying it can sabotage your long-term success, but developing a long-term vision and setting incremental goals can foster sustained growth. And that comes with being strategic with your goal setting. So many people will say, "Oh, I just want to buy a house," or "I want to start a business." And that's their goal. And they're just like focused on that, and they're not understanding that there are tasks or strategies that go along with it. So, you can't just focus on that big goal for that short term. You have to understand that it's a long-term success that you're trying to do. But if you're trying to do it in a short term, thinking, "I'm going to get it today, I'm going to get it tomorrow," and when it doesn't happen, you can sabotage how you feel about it. You might feel like you didn't succeed in getting it. And so you want to set incremental goals so that you can continue to grow towards it. Baby steps count too. So definitely understand the big picture, but don't make that big picture your short picture, if that makes sense. You know, because that can definitely sabotage you. It'll make you feel like you didn't accomplish anything. And that's because you didn't put it into you didn't set incremental goals. Okay. Let's look at number 9 of 10 things to consider quitting to achieve success. Let's see what number 9 is. Ignoring personal health. So now this is, hey, at one point I was talking to myself, but I know the importance of this now for sure. And in actuality, I want to say, really, after I started having kids, I was so in tune with my body. But the older you get, sometimes you almost don't have control over your personal health. Things just start happening to your body. You'd be like, "What?" It's almost like having a car for a long period of time, and you could take real good care of it. But at some point, some things just start falling off. You'd be like, "Wait, what's going on?" And I feel like that's how it is with personal health as we get older. It's so crazy to me because I'll be like, "Wait." And if you look at some of my old videos when I'm talking about, one of my challenges, and it's really my only challenge at this point, but I mean, I'm in such denial because I just can't even imagine. Like who and I asked my doctor, who are you talking about? Like what are you who why would you be telling me this? Because I don't even know who that what you're saying, who does that belong to? So I see low carb queen is saying, yes, so true. There are definitely steps to the big goal. Yes, there are. So let's look at ignoring personal health. So that's neglecting physical or mental health, which can undermine all other efforts towards success. So it's important to regularly exercise, have a balanced diet. And when I think about a balanced diet, and one of my daughters had said this, you really have to look at your body like it's a Bentley, like it's a luxury vehicle. And if you want it to run well, then you have to put the best in it. You would never put regular gas in a Bentley. So why would you put, you know, regular low energy, low mileage, low quality food in your body? You should consider everything you put into your body and want it to be quality. And I know that food is expensive, but it's all about choices. Because just like you can grab a bag of potato chips that costs what? How much potato chips are like $6 or something like that for a bag. You can also grab a bag of carrots or a stalk of celery or a bag of apples for that or less. So it's really about choices. So if you want to look at yourself like a Pinto from back in the day and want to just ride it out on that regular gas, so be it. But if you want to look at your body like a Bentley or whatever luxury vehicle you prefer, and you want to put that premium in it, then that's what you need to do, because the better you take care of it, the better it will take care of you and run effectively and efficiently. All right. So we have to all make better choices and have sufficient sleep. Now, that's the thing. People, they don't even realize. Let me tell you, I definitely get my no less than 7 in a night, 8 to 7 hours for sure. Sleep is very important to be able to relax and almost, I want to say almost immediately after putting my head down, I am out. And I'm so grateful for that, because I know a lot of people going to sleep can be challenging. And if going to sleep is challenging for you, you might want to do some meditation. You definitely don't want to look at anything that is like high energy, rah rah, no politics. Be mindful of what you feed your mind before you go to sleep. Read some scripture, listen to soft music. When our children were young, up through elementary school for sure, we will put them to bed to classical music. Have something that is going to be soothing to your mind and soul. All right. And then mindfulness practices like restorative yoga and all of that can boost your overall performance. Just think about how you feel the next day when you've had a great night's sleep, and then versus when you didn't. Think about how you feel. And I noticed this, I think it might have been the Saturday before Easter is when we had our Easter meal, because our daughter was going back to school early the next day on Sunday. And let me tell y'all, oh my goodness, when we ate, it was like I, it was like the food had drugs in it. I couldn't get to my bed fast enough. Like we all were so sluggish because of the types of food we ate. And I knew then, listen, if you eat something and you're tired, that's not good. That food did not give you fuel for your body. It didn't give you, it gave you regular gas. But if you eat something and you have energy, and I mean, we have this mindset of eat till you full. You gotta feel it. Food for the soul. You gotta, somebody's grandmama put their foot in it. Boom, boom. But that food make you have to unbutton your pants and lay down, and that's not good. That's not good. You have to have food that, yeah, you ate something, you got sustenance, that, you're not hungry. And that's the thing, you don't have hunger pains or anything like that. You had food, but you have energy. you can still move. You still can go. You don't feel like your eyes are drooping, like you're barely hanging on. When you eat like that, that's how you know you ate some premium gas. You ate premium gas right then and there. Mhm. And let's see, Vernell is saying you have to have levels of second care of your body. If you had a Hyundai, you have to keep it tuned up. Yeah. Yeah, if your body, I'm not saying everybody's body is a Bentley. Your body could be, a Volkswagen Bug, and that's fine too. But either way, whatever it is, you want to take the best care of it for sure. You definitely want to take the best care of it. So that's number 9 for 10 things to consider quitting to achieve success. So let's look at what number 10 is. Number 10 is resistance to change. So, resistance to change. And listen, the world that we live in is constantly evolving, and adaptability is key. Being open to change and ready to pivot, and we talked about pivot before, is when necessary can keep you competitive and relevant. So you don't want to be resistant to change. You want to consider quitting that. If you are that type of person that's like, nope, we've always done it this way. Nah, that's how Big Mama used to make it like that. A lot of things are changing. Look how people are making collard greens now. They're not even, boiling them till they, can't be boiled anymore. People not cooking green beans to death anymore. They crispy now. Who knew? You know what I'm saying? So we can't be resistant to change. We can't be resistant. We want to remain competitive and relevant. And when I think about relevant, I look at it like we want to be here. We want to be here. hmm Resistance to change is a hard one, and that's hard personally and professionally, Vernell. Change management is a thing, and it takes a lot of self reflection. So, if you're resistant to change, that means you may have some beliefs around things that you may have to break. You may have beliefs that won't serve you for where you are, but you're just resisting to change. And that's why emotional intelligence is so important. And interpersonal understanding who you are is important so that you can realize, you know what, I'm pushing back on this because I feel some kind of way. It's personal because of maybe something that I was told when I was a child or something I had seen, but that's not really what's happening right now. So let me see really what this change is all about. So change is really important. All right, everyone. So those are the 10 things to consider quitting to achieve success. And even though I already did 1 through 4, really 1 through 5 in the last video, I'm going to call that part 1. I'm just going to do a recap real quick. The number 1 is procrastination. You want to consider quitting procrastination to achieve success. Number 2 is negative self talk. You want to consider quitting negative self talk to achieve success. Number 3 is fear of success. People have fear of success, not fear of failure, but fear of success. You want to consider quitting having that type of fear in order to truly achieve and go for that success. Number 4, toxic relationships. You want to consider quitting the toxic relationships that you have or that you're in, that you're all around to achieve success. Number 5, the need to control. You want to consider quitting the need to control to achieve success. Number 6, perfectionism. You want to consider quitting perfectionism to achieve success. Number 7, multitasking. And that is something people don't even want to see that on a resume because they like, that person's all over the place. So you want to consider quitting multitasking to achieve success. Number 8, short term mindset. Having a short term mindset, but trying to do the most. You want to consider quitting that to achieve success. Number 9, ignoring personal health. You really need to focus on your personal health And ignoring it, you want to consider quitting ignoring it to achieve success. And finally, number 10, resistance to change. You want to consider quitting resistance to change to achieve success. So that is the completion of 10 things to quit. And I want to ask those of you that are still in the chat and here live, what is the one thing that resonated with you? The one thing that you are really going to work on or consider quitting to achieve success? What is that one thing? If you don't mind putting it in the chat, and if you're watching this on replay, if you can put it in the comment section. What is that one thing? I always feel when you are listening to a video or if you're in a training program, you should always think about that nugget, that one takeaway. It should be something that you can share with others. So it's more than, oh, that was good, or I enjoyed that. What did you enjoy about it? What are you going to be able to use in your life? And for my videos, that's my purpose, is so that it'll give you something to think about, give you those aha moments, because maybe it's not new to you. Maybe, you know what, Coach Sherri, I already do this. This is what I do too, and I get that. But still, it could be a just like a reminder for you, to kind of bring you back on track. Because even though we know the right things, sometimes we go off track. And I'm hopeful that with my content, that it'll put you right back on track so you can go forward and move on and continue to evolve. Well, I enjoyed this session. And again, I apologize that it had to be broken up like it was, but hey, I was able to pivot. And I hope that you enjoyed this video as much as I enjoyed sharing the information. Remember to continue to practice every day. Practice, practice, so that when you go in to play, you will always play to win. It's been my pleasure, and I will see you all tomorrow. I am Coach Sherri.